Hello, everyone. Good morning to all. Thank you for joining this new live session of Thursday. We're going to give a couple of minutes for other attendees to join on the waiting room, and we're going to get started. So Customily is an app that provides your store with live previews of products, along with options that your customers can interact with, changing those live previews with every interaction, from text typing to clip art selection, color selection, or image upload. Your preview will change live and give you a realistic example of how your customization will look on the product. Also, for the merchant side, this customization will be included in a ready-to-print file that you will get along with the customized order. So Customily will not only be giving your customers a live preview of the product, it's going to give you that same information on a ready-to-print file that you can fulfill right away. In this example, I can type the name, I can upload an image. For example, I have this sample image. Yeah, I can move that image around, rotate, or resize any way I want. I can type the name. I can set the institution like this. I can even get more precise and add other lines. Set up the year, for example, and play around with the texts of the colors of the text like this, maybe to represent a particular class, year, or a particular institution. Okay, and this is your live preview. This is exactly how the product is going to look. Another example like this, you get to set up a poster, one of those hanging posters, that you can start typing your name. And in this particular case, you can set up a star map. For example, I can type a nice location like this, and finding this, that's going to change the the star map. I can add the constellations or not, also add the grid lines or not, and set up the effect of the Milky Way. And of course, I can set the date because stars are very important for the date. So I can either pick this, like what happened the other Monday, yeah, or go far in a lot of years that I like. I can also set up the style of the map as well, and then I can just type my name. Now, the cool thing about this particular example that I made is that I can actually set up, we have the same student, and when you type your name, the rest of the quote gets filled, and you just need to type, for example, this. Now, this preview is done by loading a template on the page, as well as the options. And these two elements, the template and the options, are created in Customily. So if you follow the steps of creating a template from scratch, you'll be able to create the options automatically and connect them to any of your existing products. As simple as that. And if you don't want to create a template from scratch, we have the tools of Customily 2.0. So what is Customily 2.0? This is our latest update for Shopify stores, which allows you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. Those starting your stores from scratch will have more interest in this section because now you can choose a product directly from a print-on-demand supplier, add a design to it, and get it published in your Shopify store, all from Customily app. Also, with the print-on-demand suppliers that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated. This means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and the ready-to-print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically for fulfillment and shipping. Another interesting feature for Shopify users is the free access to Customily's design libraries. This means you can find designs ready to use and sell, or you can use this exclusive clip art collection to create your own art. If you check back our live sessions before, you will see that we actually play around with Customily designs a lot. In fact, we were able to cover all possible paths of Customily 2.0. And you see, we can say there are four different paths you can explore in Customily 2.0. You can work with a print-on-demand provider who has its own product catalog and add a design from Customily's library to it. This is the fastest path, the one that allows you to have published products ready to sell in minutes. You can work with the print-on-demand provider but choose to add your own designs to the library. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. On the other hand, if you have your own products and are not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start populating your product-based library first. After you have your own product mockups, you can choose to add a design from Customily's collection, and then create and publish products really fast. Or you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. This is the path that involves more time, but once you have all your product mockups and all your designs set up, it's just a mix and match game and you'll be able to create and launch new products in seconds. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Imagine I'm a Shopify store owner. I want to start selling personalized products and just install Customily to try it out. Here we are in the main menu of Customily. You can see at the left bar that we have 6 sections. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools. The other 3 sections are the main core of Customily. You can explore, manage, and create your templates, upload and organize your assets in libraries, color libraries, fonts, vectors, and images. And you can see all your connected products in the store section, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front-end experience of your customers. Today, we are going to create the products I showed you at the beginning. We're going to create this star map poster using a print-on-demand provider and creating this design ourselves. Then we are going to create this graduation banner, but we're going to do this from scratch using Customily tools because I already have a graduation banner on my store that I want to start offering as personalized right there for customers to do that on themselves. So let's start off in this section. Start. From here, you will have access to the print-on-demand providers, the design libraries, and product mockups. If you check previous live sessions, you will see how we created our own product bases when we don't have a print-on-demand provider. And you see how we sometimes create designs other than using Customily designs because we want to offer something more personalized. In the print-on-demand section here, you will see those PODs that have automatic fulfillment integrated. This means they have their own API, and you can go to Customily and integrate with each one of these by going here to the settings, to the integrations tab, and you will find all our print-on-demand providers that have API integration. You can select like Gearment, enable that, and input your API key from your account and your API signature, depending on each. On each case, you have full information on how to find those API keys. Now back to the start. We're going to select a POD with automated fulfillment in Customily, and we're going to create our own design for the poster. So I click on Create New Product. I go to Gearment, that's one that we're talking about right now. And you see here, this is the catalog that we have available from Gearment. There's a lot of products, and we keep adding more, usually by feedback from the POD itself, from a lot of information from bestsellers. But if you are looking to sell a specific product from any POD and you cannot find that in the Customily catalog, just ask for that at our support email, and we're going to add that right away, because there's no better feedback than the one from our customers. So I keep browsing and I can just search for the posters, yeah, and we're going to create this one, the 24 by 36. I think it's a nice size. So we select this product. If there are variants available, we're going to see them here and be able to pick them up. For example, colors for t-shirts, sizes for canvas, also sizes for t-shirts, and many other variants that can be available. Usually colors and sizes will be the most frequent to see. And once you pick at least one variant of each available, you're ready to go to the next step. In the next step, you're going to pick your design. You have already picked your product and you're going to pick your design. I can go and pick from Customily designs, and I can see all our categories and think about all the designs we have on each category. We are close to 200 designs already. If I go to all, I can see the categories, but I browse around and check out, for example, graduation. We have, since we're talking about this, we have all 6 designs here, and I can just click on one of these and the creation process will begin. And the great thing about this is that later I can use these girls and these hairstyles and rows and information on other designs that I can create. Like I mentioned, you will be able to have those libraries available for you to create your own designs. But I wanted to create my design. So I'm going to have to go to my design library and pick that. But I don't have this particular design already. I'm going to create that with you. So I'm going to this here, this tab open, ready to go. And I'm going to click to open this on a new tab. We can have multiple tabs open. And I'm going to create a new design. This new design will be called live session poster. Okay, create design. So I start off new design on a blank canvas, usually a square canvas and really big canvas, because the square designs can fit into more possible ratios and proportions for designs, landscape and portrait. But if you know you're going to be selling portrait products and you're going to be using a particular design across many products with the same proportion, you can just resize this and change the proportion of your canvas. I'm going to resize this because I recall I was going to be using a 24 by 36 poster. Now, if I were to add other products later that are bigger or smaller in the same proportion, this design will fit perfectly. And other proportions or other sizes may need a bit of adjustment, but Customily will always try to fit the design into the product, so it's going to look the best way possible. I'm going to edit this and change the way this looks. And I'm ready to start creating my own designs. And you get to see now how Customily works. This is our design studio. And you can start adding stuff like, for example, text boxes. I can create a text box that I can just shape any way I want and type anything I want for testing and for previewing stuff. Then I can create the same with the curved text. I can create objects that are placeholders, so customers can upload their own images or vectors, depending what you're selling. And this is a great tool for those image upload products. Then we have map features in which we can set up a location and find and present that on a map with many styles. We can upload images of our own, for example, our girls with the hairstyles and the clothing, and all those images will be stored inside one object and customers will be able to pick from that. So it's very handy to have these dynamic images and vectors. But also, our newest feature is the star map. And I know many have been looking for this, and it's amazing. And all you need to do is click on the star map, and you will create this object. We can resize this to fit any way we want. We're going to try and give some margin and position this where we want, like this. Yeah, if it's not that perfectly centered, you have alignment tools here to center that. Okay, and this is a star map. And check out in transform, I can be more precise on my sizing and my positioning. But also in the star map behavior, I can start playing around with many options for this particular object. I can set up an initial location, like for example, we said London. Yeah, I can set up an initial date, New Year. Yeah, so let's go to excellent. And I can also present if I want to offer the constellation options, the grid lines, the Milky Way, and have this customer select what to choose, what to show. That's exactly what we have here. Otherwise, they will show this by default or have customers select these options. Then we get to go to the styles available. And you can actually click one and each one of them to preview them, or just click on the styles available to see a quick document in which it's going to show you beautifully what you are looking for. Okay, you see there are transparents that are really amazing when you have different colors and stuff. I'm going to pick these first four because it's ones that I honestly like better. So that's it. So we have dark light, midnight, and golden night. Okay, so this is our star map, ready to go. Let me preview the black so I can get to see the full sphere. Then we are going to be adding a couple of custom text because we're going to let customers type in their name and their year of the graduation. Remember, we're going to, this is a theme related product. We want to, for you to have a memento of the sky the day you graduated. So I have this text element. I can actually shrink this a bit and shape it the way I want, center this, and or actually drag this to show like this and center. Now, on the text elements, we are capable of playing around with the characters, and that's very interesting. So right now I get to select one or many fonts. Fonts can be uploaded one by one or selected one by one in the different positions, position 1, 2, 3, and so on. Or to save you time, you could actually pick a library and have these word fonts, for example, use this as a sample. And well, it seems like the size is pretty small, so I'm just going to make this bigger. I have the maximum size that can be fitted on the box, and I can keep going up, up, up. I can just type this. I'm just showing you how it works. Eventually, I'm going to stop. Where exactly I'm going to stop? At 199. So I could just put this 200 to be the maximum size. And if customers keep typing, what's going to happen is that at the end of the box, we're going to keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until we fit what the customer wants, until we reach the minimum size. Minimum size, in this case is 15, is this small. And that's something that cannot print. So we're not going to have this as minimum size. I think it's going to be this. This is 54. So we could actually have this to be 50 as the minimum size in case you want to type a lot of content. That's how far you're going to go. If you keep typing, it's going to stop adding text when you reach the end of the box and the minimum size. Okay, so let's put the name of the student. And remember, we actually wanted to, if you recall this, we wanted to type Ashley's graduation sky. Yeah, but we don't want customers to be typing all of that, right? I mean, there's chances of typos and stuff. Yeah, so Ashley's graduation sky. That looks really amazing, but we only want customers to type their names. So how do we fix this rest of the text. There's a tool for that, and I'm going to just cut this. And the tool for that is on the Advanced tab. On the Advanced tab, we get to type a prefix and a suffix. So this text will be fixed all the time, and your customers will only need to type whatever it is personalizable. Very useful to have this when you are, for example, typing the space and space again family. So whoever comes in and types Smith will actually have the Smith family show by default, because you are prefixing and suffixing stuff that will not change at all. At all. And if I go back to actually here and I remove the prefix, okay, I can actually go to the suffix and put the rest of the message to have this show up. Okay, that's the best way of setting this automation and have the full message looking nice. Let me check out in the character, because I have many fonts. I want to check out how other fonts show. Yeah, you see, this is looking nice. Yeah, this is looking nice, and this is looking nice. Apparently, some fonts have apostrophes and stuff, so I may want to just keep this like this. Yeah, perfect. I could actually make this a bit bigger and see if it's possible to fit more sizes, but I don't think it is. Now, the second text box I'm going to create is for the date. So I'm going to put this a bit smaller in here, and I'm going to put it in here like this. I'm going to type a date. Yeah, and I can check out, see if the Arial is the font that I want, or maybe I want other fonts. I don't know. It seems I have Lobster. Yeah, like that. Yeah, and this is pretty small, so I'm going to make it bigger. Just I don't know how big I can make it. So I can keep going until it stops. It stopped at 106, so I was just going to say 100. Yeah, so whenever I have this is the final look. Maybe this is too big, so I'm going to just make it 80. And because I don't want this to get shrinking with a lot of content, I'm going to fix the minimum and the maximum size as equals, so no size will be compressed when you reach the end of the box. You can also set up later in the options a limited number of characters, so customers don't go way far in typing. So this seems to be the full design. I can go to the layers here and I can check out this. For example, Star Map 2 will be the first option. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to select location. Yeah, select sky location. Yeah, so this message will show at first when customers are going to pick the location. Then we have the text 3 and the text 1. Text 1 is going to not be this. It's going to be graduate's name. And the second one is going to be the date. By having this renamed, I'm automating these labels here. Graduate name, date. I'm automating this and it's saving me a lot of time later. So now that I have all this, I can grab all three of them and, for example, try to center this vertically on the sheet like this. Okay, perfect. So now that we have the design, we're going to save it. Excellent. Now we have a new design on our design libraries, and you can check that here in my designs. I go to the last page and I get to see this live session poster. Now, cool thing about this, Customily has created the options for us. So they will save you time, because when you create a product, the options will be right here, ready to go. And we can check them in case we wanted to change something. So if I click on Edit Options, I will see the options available for the customers. First option will be Select Sky Location. This is a star map kind of option. And if I click here, I will open this and see other things that I can play with, and conditions, or have some help text, change the label, anything I want. Then we have the checkboxes of constellations, grid lines, and Milky Way. They can be start selected by at the beginning or not. That's entirely up to you. And then we have the select star map style. This is all created automatically by Customily. In this case, Customily not only created the option itself, but also created the swatches and all the different options that we selected. Finally, we have graduate's name. This is a text input, meaning that this is where you're going to be typing the name of the graduate. We can limit the number of characters if we want, okay? And then we have a font selection, the graduate's name font, and Customily created this swatch based on the library we selected. And so we have these 5 fonts that are selected by default. In fact, the swatches have been created automatically. Okay, and finally we have the date as another text input. In this case, the date will be something nice to limit. So we have 2 for the month, 2 for the day, 4. So that's 8 plus the separations. We're going to set this to be a maximum of 10 characters. Yeah. So now that we save and the design is ready, let's go back to the other tab and finish the process of creating the product. We have the poster selected. From Gearment, we are going to pick our designs, find on the last page the one we created, and click here. Now Customily is working for you. It's creating a brand new product on your store. It's connecting that product to Gearment through the API. It's receiving from Gearment the print area, the exact size of the print file. It's getting the mockup images. It's also getting all the specifications. And so it's building the product with the connection. And for that product, it's creating a unique template with unique options. And you get to preview that before you publish that. Remember, we set up a starting position in London. We set up a date, and well, here you can start off with this, but we have all these options now. These are the styles we want. Okay, and we are going to type something here. Yeah, and that's me. And I can change the fonts. Yeah, and I can type the date. And have my constellation. Okay, we're going to double check this and select something like okay, and the date was, well, what was I said? I said it was July, but it was on the year. Oh, this is going forward actually, and that's going. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, July 8th. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and this is the final preview of the product with the mockup of Gearment. Now, there's a way you want, if you want to change this, I'm going to show you on the back end how things are working. But I like this example to be the listing photo, so I'm going to click here to save this as the new product image. It's always better to have a listing photo at the beginning and in the pay in your store showing a customization so customers can know the full extent of what you're offering. And if I don't like this name because it's too generic, I can click on edit product details. And this is going to be like a quick shortcut for from Shopify, in which I can change this live session poster, price this to be like that. And scroll down if you want to change this. Okay, and now we're going to save it and go back to the final revision. And we're ready to publish. Once you publish, before that, okay, the system is telling me that I should not forget that I have not integrated with the API key. of Gearment. And I should go here, which is the place I showed you at the beginning in the integrations, to put that. Otherwise, I will not have an automatic fulfillment. But I can still publish this and have this seen on my store with the preview that I chose, with the options working, and something that I can. This is our first product, and it's done really fast. Once you get the idea of what you want to design and what you want to put together, it's really fast using PODs. If you check the back end of the app here, you will see that Customily created the new product, and you can check that out in the products. Remember, we are here in the store section, but I can click here, check out the products in your store, and see that if I look for the poster, I have two posters. I may change this name so I can sync again. Okay, and this is the new product. The new product has, if I click here, has a unique option set for those options in which I can select and type names. And then I have a unique template, the A64A. I can go to the template section by clicking here or by clicking here, okay? And look for that in the search bar here, A64A. And this is the new template that was created for us. In this template, you will see that let me edit this. In the first part, you have the exact print area of Gearment for the design. It's going to be printing like this. The design is going to be placed on that print area, and it's going to be printing in a PNG 300 dpi. And on the next step, you get to see how that print file will show on the mockup. We actually have this was sent by Gearment. We have actually a mask to present on top of the design to create and replicate the mockup of the product. This is all done by our POD. We don't have to do anything. I just wanted to show you that this is an editable file in any case. And before you save that again, in case you edit something, you get a final revision, and you get to see that whatever you or your customers will type in will not only show on the front end for them in the preview, but will print exactly the same. This is very important to understand how Customily works and how templates work. Now let's go through the longest path. Let's say I want to sell my own products with my own art. And I have a product that was selling already. I was selling a graduation banner already, but now I'm able to personalize. I would get the order and the information, and I would work hard on my Photoshop files and get things ready, send those proofs for approval, get back with feedback, change that again. Imagine all that coming back and forth with emails and stuff, and a lot of versions of a product in a file, reduced to whatever your customer is going to be personalizing on the front end. And so for that, we're going to create a template from scratch. So we go to the template section. These are all your templates. You can be connected to a product or not, or maybe just testing and doing stuff. This is all your database with a lot of information of your products and templates. The ones you create with Customily 2.0 and the ones you create by hand by going to create new template. And I'm going to call this live session graduation banner. Now, my particular banner has a specific size because I know this because I'm the one selling the product already and fulfilling that on my own. So I know this is 658 by 956. Yeah, and so I'm ready to create my print area based on my information of the product that I already selling. I know I print on a PDF format in RGB mode, and so that's all set to go in the export format. I have other export formats that I can choose from. So now I need to start designing this as I usually had before, and I manually did that. How do I do this? I have a base file, okay, that has the outcome design, and I can put that base file using a dynamic image. Why? Because dynamic images are objects in which you can upload your own files and they will show on the front end. Placeholders are those that customers will use to upload their own images. So I'm going to upload my own art and see that I actually have this. I have a base, but I also have my Photoshop exported design ready to go. So I'm going to click here, and that's going to show that. Obviously, I can click on transform and resize this to fit exactly my print area. This is how it works on my product. Then I'm going to start. Okay, now customers usually send me their files and I put them inside here in this special area. But now with Customily, I can have an image placeholder. And image placeholders can be on top of this, can be resized any way I want. Okay, and I can actually test them out with an image because I can see this. This is called try with an image. So I'm going to find my sample, yeah, and get to see that because of the proportions of the image and the proportions of my box, there are some empty spaces. So I can open the image behavior here, and of course I want to have this in full color, but I could have this in grayscale or single color. That's entirely up to you. But if I have to full color, I have an option called fill area that will match the minimum dimension to the maximum of the box. Okay, now this looks pretty well, except for the fact that it's a rectangle and I want to have the shape that I saw behind. Because I have my design to have a transparency, all I need to do is grab this image selection, which is, this is the background. And this is the upload your photo. Remember, this text will go to the front end. I have to actually put this and drag this down. And that's the effect we want to accomplish. Remember, this image is just a testing. We want to see how it looks. So that solves the picture part. Now we offer free customizations. We offer the name customization. We offer the university or institution, because this can go for high school as well, and the year, the class of X year. So the first text box I'm going to create is for the name. I'm going to create a new text box. I'm going to shape it up like this and like this. Yeah, perfect. And I'm going to type something. Remember, we have this sample we use all the time. Yeah, it shows pretty small. That's because we need, like we did before, to play around with the sizes. Now the font that I want to use actually is called College. It's College Combine. Okay, and the size is going to be really big. I think I'm going to go for 500 to see. Oh, that looks better. And I don't want to go this down, this small, so I'm going to put like 400, like that. Yeah, actually 300 in case we have longer names. Yeah, like that. That sounds a bit right. And we don't want this to show in black. We actually want to show this in many colors. Remember, we had that choice. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about libraries. Let me go here to libraries. Now, in libraries, you can set up your fonts, images, and vector collections. And I encourage you to explore this and to see how they are organized. But you can set up, for example, categories inside. So I have these categories for the hairstyle of a male. Okay, I can edit a design with fade and see all the images of hairstyles that I upload, and then I use them on many templates. And in case of fonts, it's the same, vectors is the same, but colors in particular, we're going to be using, I have already set up this library. And I'm going to edit this to show you how it's done. Basically, you can add as many colors as you want. Okay, each time you modify something from a library, or you add something or delete something from a library, whatever product is using that library will update. To show you really fast, we're going to use this library, and then we're going to change, and we're going to add a color and see how the color is going to change live on the product. That's the advantage of libraries. You get to update your collections and affect all products using that collection in a second. So coming back here, I'm going to open the color tab, and I'm going to pick a library. Instead of going one by one, I'm going to just pick a library and set this. So now I have first color is black, second is white, third is gray, and so on like this. I can preview this all the time. Okay, this is for the first text. Now let's go with the institution. Institution is going to have another text box. I can come back here, make sure its sizing goes a bit like this and like this. Now for this text item, we're going to be using, let me center this, we're going to be using a font called MBA. Next, okay. And we're going to be using the same color library, okay. Let's work with white, it's easier. And on the size, it's pretty small. I think I'm going to be putting this bigger, like I think 200 was nice, okay. And 180, yeah, could be like that. Yeah, so yes. And I can preview something like yeah, it's pretty tight actually, right? So we can actually play with this and set off, for example, the line spacing to be 110, yeah, like this. So it's expanding like this. And if you find the characters to be a bit tight together, you can affect the tracking, for example, like this. I think in this case, we can be done the same. The tracking could be set up, I don't know, 40, and have this populate with more space. But this is something you can play around with the fonts to see how they perform better. The last text element will be the ear. So I'm going to put this here. Oh, that. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to try and match the sizing. Let's type something like 2023. And this is also very small and not the font that I like. I found a nice font called Amiton. And I check out when I tested this out that the best sizes was 310 and 300. Oops, that's pretty small. So probably because the font is the box is very small. Yeah, there you go. We actually had to make the box a bit bigger. Let's connect this to the library of the colors and preview this in white. We can arrange this like that, and let's see what happens if we change the last number, because usually when I'm so close to a graphic, I get worried, but it seems like it's going to work with all numbers. Excellent. In fact, if we want this to start off with this edge, we can go to character and set the alignment to be to the right. Yeah, and move this box so no name, no number will be out of the hat here. The others are perfectly centered. I think we have all we need for our design. I'm going to change this. I'm going to put this to be the name. This one is going to be the institution, and this one is going to be the year. Excellent. This is going to be printing like this, and we are all happy with this. Now, what happens if I go to the next step? In the next step, I need actually to set up my mockup. My mockup will have a background image. That background image will be actually the product without any customization, or with customization, but I recommend it doesn't have any customization at all, this base. And because this is actually going way out of the area, we're going to do the same with this we saw with the poster in Gearment. We're going to add an image, and that image will have a mask for the banner. It has all the context and nothing on the center. Obviously, I need to resize this. Give me 1 second. It's saving. So I need to type this to be 1200 by 188. Well, 1088, like this. Yeah, now it's cropping perfectly. Yeah, and you can see that it's working like that. And we will call this the mask, and we're going to lock this so we don't move by accident. It has to be on top. And I can pick now my entire design and adjust this to be within the mask. Just like that. Seems a bit right. Yeah, perfect. And if I have this to move this a bit up, yeah. So this is now my ready-to-go product. I have all the options that I tested out. I have the text and everything. And all I need to do now is just save it and publish this on my existing product. I get to do the final revision like we saw before. I can test this again and be certain it's going to be printing the same as it's going to be showing, and save it. Now, Customily wants to know if we want to go straight to our store section to connect this. I'm going to say yes. When we go to the store section, and we need to find the product. I have a product. It's called a live, banner. It's called Live Session Graduation Banner. Has no connection to Customily because you don't see the check mark. And here I can pick the template, the last one, and Customily will create the options for us. As simple as that. I mean, we can later go deep into arranging the options, but the basic is done already. We can save again. Okay. Later on, if you want to have many sizes for this banner, you could actually clone the existing template, the one this, change the print size, and have a new template. And if by any chance you have size variants here, you are able to connect different templates with different variants in sizes. You probably will check that in previous live sessions when we cover canvases. You will see this. But for the new ones, I wanted to mention this because you get to see these product variants. And it's important because if you have an existing product with variants, we don't want you to change anything. We still want you to charge extra for the extra sizes and stuff. So you keep your variants and you keep everything, and Customily will adapt with different templates, printing different sizes in the print file, even though the preview may be the same. So now that we have this product, all we need to do is click on the eye icon and see this live on our store. We have the upload your photo option. Yeah, so we can grab this. Remember, once you upload an image, you are free to rearrange this and move that perfectly. Okay, we can type the name and change the color. And you will see here that color is available in all in different the text color will be available in different texts, all different. So that's correct. But what if you want to put them all together into one single color option? That's possible, and we can go quickly into the options to check it out. By going to the options, just click here in the live banner, and you will to see upload your photo, image upload. This option is for uploading your image. I recommend you set up a minimum size in pixels so customers will not upload really low quality images. Then you get to type the name, change the color of that name. Remember, this is text number 3. When we created the text on the template, a specific ID was created for that object. which is number 3. When we created the institution, the ID was number 4, and the other one was number 5. Okay. Now you will see that each one of these swatches will change color number 3, text number 3, text number 4, text number 5. But if the last one actually we open this and we see that it's changing the color of text number 5, what if we also ask this to change the color of text number 4 and number 3? That way, one single swatch will change all 3 text elements. And we can type this to go text color. Okay, that means we no longer need this one, and we can delete that, and we no longer need this one. I think there was a question that was dropped right now, and I missed that. I think if it's possible for that to be repeated, sorry. Okay, great. So I'm going to, I saved this so I can refresh my new product. And now I see that I have name, institution, and year all with one single color swatch. And I can type something and have them all change together. Okay, so I think you were asking about changing sizes. Okay, let's do that. For that, I will need to go to my backend in Shopify, and I will have to find this banner product, this live session banner. Okay, and edit this, of course. Here, I actually have no variants. Okay, I need to actually add a variant, and it's going to be the size. One option will be 24 by, oops, no, yeah, it's going to be, it was 24 by 36, I believe, when I changed it, because I'm thinking of millimeters. But I'm going to do this, 12 by 24, for example, okay? Done. So now I have 2 variants. I'm going to save this, of course. Oh, very important. I need to actually charge less for this. So I'm going to have to be called 15. Yeah, save it. And again, whoops, no stock, no chance. So now we have the product saved, and actually we can go back to Customily, go back to the products. We'll need to sync, but syncing is really fast. Okay. And if I found the banner again, and open this, now I will see available the variants of this size. Now I have the 24 by 36 and the 12 by 14. I can actually assign a function inside Customily for these variants. This function can be from changing colors, changing images. This is very useful for color products with different colors. And if I go to change template, I can actually assign a template to each size and make sure that the print file is either 24 by 46 or 12 by 14. In this case, I'm going to pick the template that I created that was the live session graduation banner, okay? But for this, I will need to shrink my design. So I'm going to quickly drop by my templates. I love these out of script questions because it's where you get to learn the best. I'm going to the last modified, and I'm going to clone this. Why? Because I need exactly the same design. I'm cloning this, and instead of cloning, I'm going to put this 12 by 24. Obviously, I will need to change this later to 24 by 46. But if I edit this new template that I created, I can actually come to this print, this production file setting in the first step, resize this to my new print size, 12 by 24, yeah. That's going to be really small, yeah. But no worries, because I can pick everything in my design and just resize it to fit this. Oh, this is not by far not the best proportion, and that sucks. Let me resize this again. 12 by 16. Oh, that sounds a bit better. Yeah, not perfect, but for now, it's going to be like that. Okay, maybe we can actually limit this down. Yeah. Sorry about the proportions, not my best. Maybe if you know the exact proportion, it's a great help. But I think I need more height, right? I set this to be 12 by 16 is 12 by 18. Yeah. And with the improvisation or close enough. Yeah. We are able to set up our new size like this. 12 by 18. Don't forget about that. But this is just a print file. If I go to the preview never changes at all. Why? Because it behaves differently. It's meant for you to preview, not to print. The print goes in the first step. So now I have a 12 by 18 print, and I have the same preview. I can save this. And once saved, I just go to the template area because I need to go to my product here and find the new product. Ignore the 24, please, and go for the 18. Yeah. So now I see I get to load these two depending on the variant. So I'm going to save this and going to the product again. I'm going to reload the product. And now I get to see my variants. I get to see that I changed the price with the variants. Okay. And I load the template. You see the template changes and loads depending. But the design is always the same. So I can pick this, this, this. Okay, and print in 12 by 18 or print in 24 by 16, just with the same preview. As simple as that. Remember, we have an excellent support team available to help you during your first steps and assist you with anything you need. We have a lot of live sessions before this one, more basic and beginner, more advanced, so you have a lot to play with. And if you need further help, don't hesitate to write us an email, open a live chat on the app on business hours, basically EST time, and also join our Facebook communities because we have a lot of people that are like you, exploring stuff and sharing cool tips and ideas all the time. Maybe inspired by your products and our tips and going the extra mile. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for being present in many live sessions. I see some familiar names. I'm very happy for this. I'll be looking forward for next week. Next week, we're going to be covering some Etsy concepts as well. And we are looking forward to 4th of July for a pet week. So stay tuned. Check out our new live sessions. Check out our upcoming calendar. And thank you again for your time. Have a great end of day to all. Goodbye.